And that's how everything is going to end.
What?
That's how you start the recording. Like they missed out on something juicy.
Oh man, we started recording too
Honestly,
late.
that would be hilarious.
Ugh. Guys, episode 8 was so cool.
And that's the fate of Ricket. What?
And then Ricket died.
Alright, you guys missed... Oh man, we weren't recording. You missed the cool mech fight.
Bimini's built a mech out of ironwood.
Out of chairs.
And Gallus and Zephin had to drift to pilot it. It was so crazy. It was the Pacific Rim sequel that we actually wanted.
Starring the crew of the Gilded Gorgon.
Hello, friends. I'm Christian Razor, and you are listening to Sins of the Father.
Is the Iron Tyrant a kaiju?
Whoa. He could... I think he's more of a tyrant.
I think he's more of a tyrant, Marlo.
No. I forgot the name of him. What are they
Jaeger?
called?
This is...
Stupid robot.
A
Jaeger,
Gundam?
thank you. He's a Gundam.
And this is where we transition into the OVA rules.
Yes, with the giant mecha thing powered by juices. I don't know.
I hope you guys can roll the same number, because if you don't, your drift is incompatible.
Oh god. That would be kind of cool, but
We're only using a D4, because that makes it manageable.
that makes
A
it
20-sided die? Good luck ever rolling the same number. The odds are not in your favor.
It'd be like if you roll the same number, your drift is compatible. If you roll one number off, you can do it, but there's complications.
Yes. This is why we make game systems. We need lasers and feelings, but it's Jaegers and Kaiju.
Oh, I'm sure it exists.
I'm sure. I hope it does. If not,
I believe it.
Gotta get on that.
Time to
I'm
make
100% that exists.
I'm gonna timestamp it 6/19/2020 at 10:38 p.m. If anyone steals our idea, we said it first.
That's the law, y'all.
Perfect.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you see, you went for the nice 4 clap. A very classic clap. Very humble.
It's a 8.5 out of 10.
He's not exerting too much energy before we get into the long
As
stretch.
you can see,
Going for a nice, slow...
Christian has revised his clapping mechanics since his appearance in the last games. We are very impressed by Christian's clapping ability here. You've seen him really grow as a clapper.
Ah, yes. It's ironic that clapping is narrative like golf.
Yes. Because clapping is so abrasive, we needed everything else to be so mellow. Welcome to John Nicholson's PGA clap.
That's right. You heard it here first, folks. The next After Hours is a golf
There it
tournament.
is.
Where we all play as narrators to describe what's happening in the tournament.
Yes, I'm here for it. Give me your experimental shit.
hilarious.
It's all just like, oh, someone says that guy just it went into the water. It happened.
Oh.
And everyone secretly has someone that they want to win the tournament. Let's see how far they get. It could be the same person or different. Who knows? We need it now, marketing team. Write that down.
Club seems to be struck by Zeus himself.
I'm gonna Google it. Golf TTRPG. See what we get.
You're just gonna get golf story.
The first thing is a
Basketball
Reddit post
is what I'm thinking.
titled, "Finally, a golf-based RPG.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Go golf."
Go golf. So we're playing go golf on the next hour.
I'm looking at it right now. It's $5. It is a complete core rulebook, full color, 16 pages, both single and double page spread versions included. It has 1 rating. Let's check out a 5-star rating. More like a 5-hole rating.
Oh.
That's not good. 18 or nothing. Only playing in tabletop RPG that's you guys are piloting mechs playing golf. It's that one game. There's a game for it.
There is.
It's really tall robots playing golf. 100-foot robot golf.
Yes. Game Grumps played that.
It's right here in the title. Look no further. Your wildest dreams have come true.
Return of Pencil Stash.
I see. It has become more elegant.
Pencil Stash is back.
Pencil Stash 2. Electric Boogaloo.
This sucks because now I can see Jackson and Christian's, but I can't see Marlowe's.
Aww.
I'm the constant accent.
What you couldn't see is me wiggling it back and forth.
It was pretty funny.
She's taking her pencil mustache to the next level.
Next
This
one.
is how we go even further beyond.
That's right. On the annual
Plus Ultra.
pencil stash-a-thon.
Yes, that is the next sport.
We'll see who
First
can
clapping,
hold it the
now
longest.
pencil stashing.
Through this obstacle course.
I'm the only one without a mustache. I'm the only one who'll win.
Challenge accepted.
You saying we don't have pouty lips to do it?
We are men. And
We
have
pout a
smaller
lot.
lips in most of the cases.
I spent the whole last episode pouting. I've been preparing.
Whose fault was that? I'm sorry.
Had to have an evil deity.
Some of us are like, I like Gond. He's cool. He likes to make things and stuff. And some of us are like, I like things that eat the world.
Terrible choices, but that's the only reason that's the only reason I ever pout is because I made a terrible choice.
Now Zevin's like, my soul.
My soul. That's the only reason I ever pout. Ever.
Womp womp. Welcome back to episode 8. Roll for initiative.
Whoa.
He just threw us right in.
We in it.
I mean, where else did you see this going?
That's really good.
That's really bad.
17.
Nice dialogue with the tyrant and him just being like, yeah, okay, you can have it.
We'll take it
No.
now.
Peace was never an option. I'm sorry.
4. I rolled a 4.
I
Total?
got a 17.
Total.
Oof.
I have an 18, and that's with a -1.
Wow.
Dang.
Wow.
Ibanice is prepared this time.
Bibinice, you're up first.
Right. Am I within 60 feet?
Yes.
Okay. Bibinice plants his tree trunk size feet shoulder width apart from each other, and then he raises his trunk and lets out a loud bellow, and he focuses on the Iron Tyrant's boots, and he is going to cast Heat Metal at second level.
Okay, that is not where I expected.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
Go on.
I cast it, that boot heats up, and he takes, damn, that's a good roll, 14 fire damage. After I cast that spell, I unhook the round shield and the warhammer from my belt and just stand at the ready.
Alrighty, and you take up battle stance. Excellent. Gallus, it's your turn.
So Gallus his spines go straight out. So like a Tesla coil, he's got lightning arcing across his spines, and then he is going to put his fins together, push straight out, point straight out, and then a lightning bolt fires out of him.
I'm glad that the exact thing you described is what I was picturing if you were casting lightning bolt.
Yes.
Excellent.
19 damage.
19 damage. That blat, and you hit, not quite hitting.
Yep.
The orb, the orb, quote unquote, itself, but you still see it connect and scorch the armor. The tyrant does not seem phased so far. The tyrant does not seem phased.
Right.
Zephin.
Zephin is going to, he's pulled out his spellbook with his right hand. He kind of waves it in the air, and tentacles come out of seemingly nowhere and cover his body in a sort of armor. He cast mage armor.
Yes, mage armor.
Yes.
Yes. Are any of you moving?
Nope.
Not currently.
How close are we at this point? Like when he started getting up?
Within 60 feet.
Yeah, I guess. Technically, since nothing's moved on at this point, I'm moving closer. Farther. Closer. Yeah, closer. Feels
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Probably not right, but feels right.
Okay. You move closer. Anything else? Is that
That's
all
it.
you're doing?
That's it.
You run closer to this imposing figure as it's now going to have its turn. And as this stuff is blasting into it and its 1 foot is heating up, lightning has blasted across the chest, the tyrant finishes standing up. And you think, Zephin, that he seems to have noticed you as you see a large heated boot lift up and go to step down.
Oh god.
Give me a dexterity save.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
What would you roll your
That's a 2.
Oh no.
So Zephin's dead.
What's your AC?
13.
The foot doesn't slam down on you, it slams near you,
Oh.
shattering the floor as chunks of shrapnel, rocks, and wood fly up. You take 14 damage
Jeez.
as you are buffeted with chunks of stone and wood from the shockwave. But Zephin, since you got closer, give me a perception test.
8.
Thankfully, this is not hard to see.
Okay, thank god.
The tyrant's boot, although heated up, you see large, almost vein-like branches of ironwood coming up around the boot itself that might be climbable. Bibonese.
Bibonese. Alright. Well,
Your herd mate is in danger.
yeah, he is. Oh gosh. Bibonese is gonna let out a bellow and charge forward. Grabs Zephin, and as he grabs Zephin, he is going to cast Cure Wounds at first level. You get 3 health. Gosh, that's a waste. And then I guess I'm going to move Zephyr as far as I can away from the boot and use my bonus action to use that heat metal to give him 9 points of fire damage.
What if I don't want to be shoved?
I'm glad you asked, because that is actually a thing with the shove action. So, Bibanice, you make a strength athletics check that is contested by Zephyn's athletics or acrobatics.
I'm going to go with acrobatics, and I'm going to say I got 16, but it's a 0 modifier, so it doesn't really matter.
I also rolled a 16.
Spicy.
Oh.
You don't have a modifier for
I
that?
have a +2 modifier. I rolled a 14, so it's a 16.
Oh, okay.
It's in a weird realm because it's a tie between players.
Yeah.
Right.
On
Zephyr is going to go all in on this. He's about to, climb this big thing.
Zephyr wants to be a martyr.
Yeah.
I think Zephyr would win then.
So, as Bibanice is trying to pull him away, because we're saying Zephyr wins, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, as Bibanice is trying to pull him away, Zephyr wrenches his way out of his grasp and, fakes left, and then books it right to try to, zoom around him and get out of his grasp. And run toward the tyrant.
You don't need to be breaking this elephant's ankles. Calm down. Alright, so unsuccessful, Bibanice. Is there anything else you're doing?
I just shout out for Zephyr. Fred Zephyr, wait.
No. That's all he says is, no. And then keeps running.
Gallus, it's your turn.
I'm gonna run up to Bibanice.
All right, big guy. That thing. I need to hit it. Throw me.
It'll be your action if you're
okay.
Can I
chucking.
Can I hold the rest of my actions until that moment then?
Yeah, you can hold. Usually in D&D, it's a hold. It's ready a specific action. I have no idea what you're trying to do.
Okay, so
Just go for it, because narratively it'll probably be awesome
okay,
to hold it till Bibanice's turn.
all right.
I'm all for the rule of cool here.
All right. And, that's going to be my turn. So.
Zephyr,
We climbing this big boy.
we climbing this big boy.
Why did you go
Okay.
Mama Odie from Princess Frog real quick? We climbing this thing.
Alrighty.
Shut up and look in the gumbo.
I love that movie.
You run up and you're going to grab on to the gnarled roots, quote unquote, and start climbing.
Yes.
Don't.
Bibanice, is it 2d8 damage for anyone that comes into contact with
say,
it?
don't grab the hot boot. I think so. So if I use my bonus action, it.
I believe
flares
it's
up
if they
again.
come into contact with
Yeah.
that. You grab it on, Zephyr.
Yeah.
Okay, this is. You grab on and you take. Bibanice, roll 1d8.
I don't.
That's right, I'm gonna make you
I take
roll
no
the damage.
Joy in this. You take 4 damage.
Some of the heat is diffused to the wood, so it's not
That's
2d8 searing damage. It is that 4 fire damage as you grab onto the hot ironwood and start climbing.
I imagine as he's going up and it's heated, he's moving. He's moving his hands, like he'll grab it and then kind of he's not holding too great because it's searing him.
It is, yeah, you are being forced to move quicker than you are comfortable with. And that will matter on your next turn. That brings us to the tyrant. Seems to have lost sight of Zephyr, scurrying under him onto his boot. So he is going to Oh, Callus and Bibanice are right next to each other.
Uh-huh.
There's going to be that buffet of wind as you see the hand raise up and just swing down at you in a just slap backhand. This hurts me, but it's dexterity to avoid taking full
For
damage.
the both of us?
Just dexterity.
I'm sorry, Bibanice. Yes,
Oh,
you're both
no.
right next to each other. I'm apologizing because Bibanice is not
No.
a dexterous person.
I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 10.
You both take 8 bludgeoning damage and are pushed 15 feet away
Awesome.
as you are just lightly swatted
Okay.
by the tip of the tyrant's hand. Which brings us to Bibanice.
Bibanice is going to pick up Gallus, move the 15 feet back to where we were, and then as he's running, he takes a hop, skip, and spins around on his back foot, and then taking hold of Gallus in both hands is just gonna throw him as hard as he can up towards the red pulsing heart.
This would be an athletics, most likely.
Probably. Hey, guess what, baby? Guess what? Ah! That was a natural 20.
Heck yeah. How high do I go?
Wow.
For a total of 22.
So you're 18 feet, 19 feet in the air.
I'm going to use my bonus action
Oh, yes.
to Misty Step and appear, to teleport to the iron, as high as I can and grab onto wherever I can.
Okay, so you're 50 feet up
Yeah.
on the tyrant.
Nice.
Do I need to roll to grab?
So where would that be on his waist? So you grab onto the gargantuan Tacit.
Awesome.
Bink.
So I chunked him. Can I continue the rest of my move? I'm going to pass by the boot that I'm heating. And is Zephin still on the boot? Then
Yeah. Zephin is currently climbing up the boot as fast as
I
he
will
can.
not heat it. And I will run past that boot and go to the other one. And as I am, I'm going to put up my shield and up my warhammer. And I'm going to pull out my two-handed maul. And I'm just going to start running at that boot as fast and as hard as I can. Yeah, so I will cast Spiritual Weapon on, the other side of his foot, on the heel. And I'll attack as that. Oh my gosh. This dice is flirting with me. It was on the 20 and then it rolled to an 8. So I rolled a 13.
Okay, so you hit it.
I do? I guess it's giant, isn't it?
It is very easy
So-
to hit.
Such a big boy. He takes 7 force damage. And that's my turn.
Gallus,
All right.
it's your turn.
Well, I'm going to climb as high as I can.
Well, first, give me that sweet athletics that I know you have a billion in.
It's +6, not a billion. That's a dirty
Hey, that's
20.
a lot though. +6 is really good.
That's a dirty
+6
20.
is really good. It's carrying around that barrel has paid off. You can maintain your grip as you are climbing.
Yes.
When you're climbing, it is half movement.
Okay. That means I'm 15 feet from...
Yes.
So mad.
Which means you're now
I'm trying to get up
on,
there.
It means you're now on the tyrant's chest.
Yes. All right.
That's not a good place to be.
I look up and see how close I am, and I'm gonna Misty Step again. So Gallus just kind of lets go, balls up, and appears up there. If
At
that's
the
okay.
spot?
At the place, yeah. If it's an opening or
Okay.
anything.
It is webbed over with gnarled branches and stuff.
Okay.
Also, give me an athletics
Yeah.
to grab on as
Yeah,
you
yeah.
pop out of thin air.
A 25?
Yeah, you grabbed on. That is your turn.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
No, that's a bonus action. Actually.
Okay. Yeah.
So I get
That's what I was trying to think. What did you do?
Yeah. So I'm here. I am going to, in preparation, I'm going to cast Alter Self on myself and my spines will sharpen and stick out as a natural weapon.
In preparation? Whatever do you mean? Zephyr. Climb, you fool.
Yeah, Zephyr is like grabbing and like flinging himself up and grabbing again and flinging himself up, just raking every single inch he can up this monster.
You are 45 feet up. Fall damage.
Yeah.
Will kill you. You hear the crunching of metal and cracking of wood as the hand curls into a fist and swings at the chest. He might hurt himself.
He might.
Right, that's true.
The tyrant ain't looking so smart. Roll me a dex save.
11.
You failed the save.
What is does the
You
AC
take-
matter at all?
No, I rolled to see what the save was gonna be. Like the save DC.
I see. Okay.
It's a giant fist. It's gonna be hard not to hit you, but if you'd have passed the save, you could have into the...
Yeah, I know, I gotcha. The shield spell is why I asked, because I have that, which adds 5 to my AC. I didn't know if that would have any way of coming into play. Probably not, I was just wondering.
I would say, narratively, if you want to use the spell slot, it will reduce the damage you take.
Then I will do that.
Okay. Because, blom.
Yeah,
Like
a
dome
magic
of-
dome, yeah.
Yeah. Because, if you hadn't cast shield, you'd have taken 16 damage.
I could survive it, but that's painful.
But, yeah.
So yeah.
As it slams into the shield itself, you take 11 instead, just a flat 5 off of the damage,
That works.
instead of upping your AC.
Yeah, that's fair.
But with that impact,
Uh-huh.
roll another athletics check.
Yep.
As the shockwave ripples across it.
Come on, dice, don't... dirty 20.
You maintain your hold. Bibanis.
Bibanis is up on that boot, and he has his two-handed maul in his hand, and with all his strength, he takes it in both hands and swings as hard as he can, and rolls a 16.
You hit.
And I deal 7 damage. Is Zephyr still on the boot that is heated?
No, Zephyr is much higher than that now.
Okay, then I will use my bonus action to heat metal on that boot.
That's that 2d8 fire damage.
And that is 10 fire damage. So I'm just wailing on one foot, heating the other, trying to bring this Iron Tyrant to his knees before me. That's the end of my turn.
Hello friends, and welcome to the mid-roll section of episode 8 of Trove of the Iron Tyrant. I am not your usual dungeon master, nor your usual host, but my name is David White. And Jackson has recently moved and doesn't have his recording set up yet, and so that is why you are hearing my voice coming to you in this mid-roll section. We hope that you have enjoyed the adventures of the crew of the Gilded Gorgon. This will be the last episode from this trio for now. But we hope that you've enjoyed the Trove of the Iron Tyrant. It was extremely fun to record and to do a little bit of world building outside of the main narrative of Sins of the Father. Jackson did a great job with this story, and I'm excited for you to get to hear the end of it. Now, what will happen with Sins of the Father next? Well, I'm glad that you asked that question. After the new year, we are going to resume releasing episodes of the regular Sins of the Father. That's right, we are going to be getting back to the story of Yabo and Ricket and Evalia and Vartash, and other good news. We're going to a bi-monthly release schedule. Now, I realize that when I say bi-monthly, it could either mean every 2 months or twice a month. I'm talking about twice a month here. So we're going to be releasing twice a month. We are going to be releasing new episodes of Sins of the Father the second and fourth Mondays of every month. I hope that you are ready to get back to that. We have already recorded some very, very dope episodes of the main series of Sins of the Father. I hope that you're excited to get back to those wonderful cherubic children. Now, let's get to some Patreon shout-outs. And the Patreon shout-out that we have coming to you today is... I believe I see now why Jackson was suddenly indisposed to do these show notes, because he left me with the most difficult name to pronounce. I've already had to pronounce this name once on Misconceptions. I'm going to try to do it again. But thank you to Dennis Peteranderol. Am I getting better, Dennis? Dennis, thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. You make it able for us to use these awesome ambiance and sound effects that Marlo puts in the background of these episodes. Thank you so much for supporting us. Marlo, why don't you put in a little fart noise right here? See, you're paying for that, Dennis, and thank you to all of our patrons for supporting us and doing this awesome stuff so that we can keep doing this awesome stuff. And don't forget, if you leave us a rating and review on iTunes, you can take a screenshot of that review, or you can copy and paste it into an email, send it to our email, misconceptionspod@gmail.com, and you will get an awesome little Sins of the Father decal for you to stick on your phone, your computer, your face. I mean, I don't care where you put it, but it's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. Well, that's enough out of me. Let's get back to the finale episode of Trove of the Iron Tyrant.
He's making a save to see if he maintains footing. Ooh, and he doesn't with a 2 on die.
Oh boy.
As you see, his heated foot
Oh boy.
he was pulling it out of the hole in the ground he made as your hammer slamming into it, and the heat ignited as he stepped back down. You see the ground where he stepped from the heat and his weight crack and crumble, and the tyrant falters, falling down onto one knee.
It's probably not good for those of us hanging on to him.
The two of you hanging on, give me another athletics check. As there's a large shock wave in stone and wood.
It's a 20.
Zephin is hanging on.
We got it. That iron grip on that Iron Tyrant.
17?
Gallus almost loses grip, but he's hanging on. It's only the more jostling, the higher the DC goes. Which brings us to Gallus's turn.
Would it require an attack roll to try to get through these, like, branches and stuff, or can I just, like...
It's not big enough to crawl through. It's almost looking... It's not immediately on the outside where the hole is. It is slightly further in, and it's almost cocoon-like in its wrapping.
Okay.
Very tight-knit with just that, at this point, rapidly thumping red pulse.
Okay. Gallus just kind of holds on and then, like, rams his head against the bramble and just kind of thrashes, and his spines are going to kind of rip at it.
Alright, roll damage.
Okay. 7? I literally rolled a 6. I'm rolling fire.
Nice. You are, like, scratching and tearing and ripping out chunks of the wood It does hurt a little. Not like you take damage hurt. As your spines are ripping into... It feels like metal, but you can see it as wood. And there's just bits and pieces flying out behind you as you're digging... trying to dig a path into this core. Zephin, climb!
We climb. We are
We
climbing.
climb! You're right there, Zephin. You're 5 feet away from the core.
Where I'm just
You're
sitting
right
there.
below. You see Gallus tearing into this wooden cocoon.
So he is right in my way, right? Like if I wanted to like do a projectile or something, he's
Yes.
Yeah, he would potentially be giving the target cover.
yeah. I guess that's it. We're just moving.
Now there are 2 immediate threats,
And he's on his knees.
and they are not Bibonese. As another swing comes in. Dexterity save.
Come on, dice. Be nice to me.
I'm guessing they weren't nice to you? You good? You good, pal?
I rolled a 1 plus 1.
Oh no.
I rolled a 20.
The dice giveth, and the dice taketh away.
Oh god.
Let's see how bad it... Oh, it's not that bad. Are you going to use shield or not?
Yes, because I'm getting a little lowish on health.
And you rolled a 20, Zephin.
Yeah.
You managed to quickly move your way out of the trajectory of its fist as it slams down into the magical barrier Gallus has erected. You take 12
Glad I did
damage,
that, I would have
Gallus.
died.
You wouldn't have died, you would have been
Well,
unconscious.
yes, but still.
The fall damage would have killed you.
Which, speaking of,
Yes.
athletics check.
Yes.
Come on.
Roll an athletics check.
9.
Oh boy.
The impact was a little more than you anticipated. It hit harder than the last time. As Gallus, you realize, after clenching up and dropping a shield, are now in free fall. Bibonese, it's your turn.
So Gallus is currently falling.
Yes.
Okay.
You see this quite easily.
Bibonese sees Gallus falling and lifts a trunk in his direction and lets out a short blast. And will cast Healing Word at 3rd level.
Alright.
That's helpful.
Let's see what I get.
Magic of Gond heals your wounds.
You are healed. Well, you're healed for 10 damage. So I'll use my bonus action to keep heating that metal.
Boom. Roll damage.
9 fire damage.
Your rolls are pretty good on this fire damage.
Yeah. And that's the end of my turn.
Can I cast bonus action spells as an action? Or does it have to be as a bonus action?
Is it so you don't die?
Yes.
I will
'Cause it's-
allow it.
It's convert sorcery points to a spell slot.
No,
with a
I
bonus
will. I
action.
will allow it if it means that you don't die, and it sounds cool narratively that you're like as you're falling, channeling like your mana to
Okay,
then
I appreciate
poof out of existence. Yes. I don't want to see any of these characters die, but if they do, I don't want it to be fall damage.
Right. Fair.
So yes, Pa. It is your turn. You feel slightly better, at least in terms of wounds. Your wounds have closed up, Gallus, but you are still in free fall.
Yes. So as I'm in free fall, I grab my barrel from my back, flip it over my head, and just shove myself into it. And then it starts sparking a little bit as I regain the ability to get a spell slot back. And I use up 3 sorcery points to regain a 2nd level spell slot. And then as I reach the ground, the barrel just sparkles and poofs out of existence with a little light, like a little electrical charge, and then just appears on the ground.
Yes, excellent. I like it. I just imagine like in a Pixar Disney film, it's like literally an inch off the ground and goes and disappears and then goes bink and just lands.
Yes. Fantastic.
Yeah, so that's last one on the Tyrant. Zephin.
Live.
So, Zephin is gonna move up to that hole in his chest.
Yes. There's a nice little
Shredded portion.
yeah. There's a nice little carved out portion of it where Gallus was wailing into it.
Did the Tyrant do any damage to it when he smashed into it?
Yes, I have been keeping track of that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been, that's why I said if it hits its chest, it's gonna hurt itself.
All right.
Yeah, I've been keeping track of it.
So, the shot, you see him get up to it, and it centers on his face, and on his face you see, on his eyes you see what looks like tentacles of darkness start moving across the whites of his eyes. And his whole eye is now black. And he picks his hand up, and you see these small, like, reaching tentacles start, like, pulsing out of it, and he shoves his hand in this little hole that Gallus made and grabs whatever's in there and uses vampiric touch.
Oh.
We're gonna regain some health if this will work.
I like it.
You're grabbing whatever it is that's through the cocoon,
Yes.
whatever's pulsing that red light.
Yeah.
That's spicy.
Since you're kind of doing this blindly, I'd say you have to roll the attack,
Okay.
but it's not going to be hard to hit.
Okay. I rolled a 5. So 11.
Yes. So as you are like wrenching your arm through, you can feel like the wood itself like scratching against you in the splintering and everything. Your hand latches onto something, and you hear that familiar voice in the back of your head as you feel that coldness. As you hit the vampiric touch and you feel the life force of whatever you grab drain, and there's this pulse of magic energy. You see black smoke and ichor spray out of the cocoon where your hand just was. And the Iron Tyrant is now beginning to fall backwards with you hanging onto its chest.
Yikes. Do I need to roll the damage?
No, but let's see how much damage you did. If you're getting HP back for this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So roll the thing because you heal half of it.
It's 9, so...
So you have 5 hit points back.
Nice.
You brace yourself for the impact, and the Tyrant slams down into its throne, shattering it. Rocks and debris go flying across the room in a cloud of dust. And as the dust begins to settle, Zephin, you still up on his chest, see that the wood itself is rotting away, and you see in the center of its chest is what looks to be a giant seed.
Does a seed look okay?
I don't know. Let's let the dice decide. Odd or even?
Odd.
Is it good or bad?
Odd is good.
It looks a little rough, but it's probably okay.
Zephin is going to, because he's still clenched onto the chest and sort of like what is now like a crawl instead of a just like grab on and climb. So he stands up and does like this to get the ichor off of his hand and steps back away from the seed. He doesn't want to touch it.
Gallus's barrel tips over and he rolls out of it in water, just kind of shaking.
Bibinice will walk over to Gallus. Friend Gallus, are you okay?
I'm a fish. I'm not meant to fly.
Bibonese will reach out a hand to help Gallus to his feet.
He accepts it gratefully.
And as he does, he is healed 9 damage as I cast Cure Wounds.
Is it over?
Yes, it seems like friend Zephin dealt the final blow. We should check on him.
Zephin has started to walk on the torso down towards like the hip to step off. And while he's doing this, he's pulled out a handkerchief and is wiping his hands off, like he's out damn spotting his hands. He's just like trying to use this handkerchief to get this ichor off of him.
If Bibonese is walking towards it, Gallus follows very shakily.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bibonese is walking over to where Zephin is.
The seed's in there. Will you get it?
Yes. Are you okay, friend Zephin?
I'm fine.
Okay.
And then Bibonese is going to climb up to where the chest is.
And you see the large empty hole with a seed about the size of your hand, Bibonese, embedded in the chest of the tyrant.
I reach in and tenderly pluck the seed from Tyrant's chest.
You now have the seed in your hand.
It doesn't look damaged or anything.
It looks a little rough, but it's intact.
I will kind of hold it in the crook of my arm and climb back down to where Zephin and Gallus are.
You have what you came here for.
Zephin is still, like, even though you walked up there, you've gotten the seed, you've come all the way back, he's still using this handkerchief trying to wipe away ichor that doesn't appear to be there anymore.
To Zephin it is.
Right. Gallus is less shaky, and he looks at the seed in Bibonese's hand.
All this for that.
This must be more important than we realize. It seems the Iron Tyrant drew his power from this. And the crone mentioned how precious this was to Sylvanas. So it must be important.
I suppose you're right.
Well, we've got it.
As you're all standing around Bibonese looking at the seed, you hear the cracking and crumbling of stone as you see one of the large support pillars in this room was smashed by the Iron Tyrant as he fell backwards. And the roof you see begin to crack and split.
Bibonese curls the seed up in his trunk and puts his massive hands on his friend's back and starts pushing them towards the door, running behind them.
Yeah, Gallus accepts the hand and starts running.
I guess that's our cue to leave.
Zephin looks startled and just books it with them.
As keep running, you make your way outside of the fortress with the slamming of ironwood and stone crumbling to pieces behind you. And you just barely make it outside as the entrance itself collapses to the ground. And you see an odd sight in front of you. There seems to be a similar portal to the one you came through to get here within 10 feet of you. And it seems to lead to somewhere in the desert, because you can feel the hot, arid, dry heat pumping through it.
I suppose this is the way out.
I suppose so.
It's the only way there is right now.
Zephin shrugs and throws the handkerchief to the side. Very anime style. After he throws it, he walks with purpose towards the portal.
Gallus hefts his barrel and follows along.
You all three make your way out, and eyes blinking from the sudden change from dark light to sun bearing down on you, realize you are now completely in the desert. And all three of you look around, the portal is gone, and you see that same rock outcropping that you took shelter in, but no pyramid.
I would comment on the pyramid not being here, but it's not the weirdest thing that's happened today, so...
Yes.
I need a nap.
So, photo montage of the group walking back to Bogbuldar. You all trudge your way back there. It's nightfall. The city is mostly calm. The nightlife, loud taverns, loud crowds, the usual. No one seems out of the ordinary, like anything has changed in the city. It's just another day. You guys stop at an inn.
Yeah.
You know we are.
The Broken Hourglass.
So as we arrive there, Bibonese wrapped the seed like up in cloth to protect it from the heat of the sun. But as we enter the Broken Hourglass, he's going to turn to his two friends and say,
I suppose we should find a sending house to send a message to the captain that we have the prize in our possession. And we will meet him in Haravel.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, let's call the captain.
So you find one of the messaging centers and you contact the captain, who sends the message. What are you sending in the message? That's a better.
So Zephin goes in and, so he's gonna say into this sending device, got the package, heading to Haravel, verify location.
And you wait 5 seconds, 10 seconds. There's no response.
Captain Tyndall, verify location.
Again, you're met with silence.
The Gilded Gorgon, verify location.
No message. No reply.
Something's wrong.
Yeah, this is most uncommon.
What happened? Zephin's gonna turn around and look at them. Someone's always there to take messages. Always. Especially when we're out.
Yes.
Zephin's gonna go back to calling the Gilded Gorgon over and over again, trying to get a location.
And Zephin is calling into it as we see the scene goes into the sending stone. Travels through magical currents, and we see it zoom out to a sending stone floating in the middle of the water. Bits of shipwreck and bodies floating in the water as his voice just echoes out.
Gilded Gorgon, send location. Gilded Gorgon, respond. Please, respond.
And then the camera zooms back out to the vast ocean, and it pans over, and we see the port city of Honey Gulch as a piece of planking washes up onto the shore with a bloodied and beaten golden mane Lionheart Tyndall wrapped around it, as you hear someone from off-screen shout, "We've got someone still alive! Let's help him out of the water!" Cut to black. End of episode.
That was awesome.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Trove of the Iron Tyrant. Our next episode of Sins of the Father will be released on January 11th. If you have a Facebook or a Twitter, you can find us on both of those platforms to get up-to-date information about the show, behind-the-scenes pictures, or just tell us how much you like the show, because that would really brighten our day. We also have a Gmail, misconceptionspod@gmail.com, if you would like to contact us that way. We also have a Discord if you would like to join our Discord to talk with us directly, not just myself, but the other members of Sins of the Father. You can click the link below to do that. This show is wholly supported by the generous monthly donations of our patrons on Patreon. If you would like to join the elite group of backers, you may click the Patreon link below. Sins of the Father is an actual play podcast using the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition role-playing game by Wizards of the Coast. The Sins of the Father theme song was composed by Aaron Wharton. You can find more of his music at aaronwharton.net. Sins of the Father is a part of the Misconceptions Podcast Network. And that's it for this week's episode of Sins of the Father. I hope that you had a fun time listening. We'll see you next time. Keep it nerdy, y'all.
That's real nice.
Amazing.
You just need a nice at the end of the episode. It just pops up with the spooky text.
Yeah.
The adventures of the Gorgon are over. Or are they?
Oh no.
Dude, I'm so happy. This was so good. I didn't know how we were going to top the Mummy episode. That one was fantastic.
Because he just unleashed a giant evil eldritch being on the world.
Yeah.
Oh snap.
Oh.
Oh man.
It's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
It already isn't good.
It's rough.
It was a jail cell.
Oh man.
That's why he said, "Let me out."
Yep.
Oh,
This is
no.
not
Yeah.
good.
So what was all that about? What happened there?
The Iron Tyrant was one of the guardians that was used to help seal away Big Bad Spooky Boy.
Oh
That's-
no.
And he's used his influence to gain more power. Then he interacts with the Gorgon.
God.
Mm-hmm.
What?
So in a way, we destroyed the Gorgon.
In a way, y'all
Oh
destroyed.
my
In a way,
gosh.
Zephin destroyed the Gorgon.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. This
That's
is
heavy.
deep.
See, so what I was thinking at length about this, the reason Zephin was so desperate, like the reason that he took on this deity was because he was desperate. He was desperate to get out of the Underdark. He was desperate to find a way to feel strong enough and good enough to get out, because he spent so long being so bullied and so everyone was so mean to him that he had like an inferiority type thing. So he took the first ticket out and didn't realize what would be asked of him. It was like a Ariel signing the contract with Ursula type thing.
Cool.
So that's why he did what he did, and he didn't do it because he was bad, but he did it because he was desperate.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so the seed of the first tree.
Yes.
I
You
don't
really
know.
want to know all the machinations I was pulling behind the scenes?
Maybe. Yeah, unless we're going to revisit this stuff later and find out, like, in the
We
story.
may.
Who knows?
But, like, I thought the seed was going to be a living person. Like, I thought whenever when Zephin was reaching his hand in there to vampiric touch it, he was going to, like, sap the life from the daughter of Sylvanas or something that was fueling this Iron Tyrant.
Maybe she was
Why do
already
you think-
sacrificed to become
Why do you
the seed.
think the seed was in the Iron Tyrant? Something so precious to Sylvanas. Why was the Iron Tyrant in the Feywild? Misinformation. You were told the Iron Tyrant was bad. Who's to say? Maybe you were the bad guys.
Are we the baddies?
Ooh. Or maybe not us. Maybe we are the unwitting pawns to the bad guys.
There's a large game of cosmic chess being played. Some of the pieces are on the board now. The crew of the Gorgon, the children, their fathers. The players are being set.
Gosh, this is turning really cool.
Man, this makes me want to get to the kids' story like so bad.
I know.
Can we
Not
just
to mention the librarian.
I feel like we're gonna
That was
end
so
up
good.
like back and forthing at some point. Like it's gonna be story necessary almost.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds so good.
Captain Tyndall lives.
Yeah, dude.
Captain Tyndall lives.
Hashtag Captain Tyndall lives. Or if
Punished
we want
Tyndall.
alliteration, hashtag Lionheart lives.
There we go.
I'm
Punished
very
Lionheart.
happy about that.
Me too.
Oh, it's so good. And he's relatively close. He's in
Just in
Honey
Honey
Gulch.
Gulch.
Yeah, but y'all were gonna go straight to Haravel.
Oh yeah, we know.
Oh.
Do you go back to Honey Gulch? Oh.
To catch
Yeah,
a
but-
boat to Haravel, maybe.
Yeah.
There's caravans that go there too.
Maybe. That's true.
Either way, it's gonna be cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's either gonna be episode 1, this dramatic meeting with Captain Tyndall, or y'all go the other way and like, oh, end of episode. Flashes over to Tyndall recovering and making his way there.
Yeah. Yep.
Who knows? Anything is possible.
What I want to know is why did Tyndall send us on this mission?
Right.
This is a
Is he-
weird ass mission.
Cause he heard about treasure.
He
Or
thought it
is
was a
he
treasure.
trying to free the monster?
I will tell you this right now, Lionheart. Tyndall has a heart of gold.
I'm just
He
saying.
has a heart of lions.
Okay.
He has a
so
heart of
never-
lions. He would never do that.
He has a heart of
He would
lions.
never do that.
Okay. Yeah. No, this is
All
great.
these legends about treasure
Yeah.
True.
would catch the ear of a pirate.
So he's an unwitting pawn.
Who's to say giant spooky tentacle boy didn't say, they work for a pirate. Start using his influence to get people to tell them about it to get them there.
True.
He's pulling the strings all along.
Oh yeah. David, once this is over, you're gonna have to write a book series, man.
Ha! Me? This is Jackson.
You're the writer.
Yeah, but Jackson got the ideas.
Jackson could be an
I
author, you're right.
practice the art of oral history. Nothing is written down. I speak it from memory
There you go.
Truth.
till I actually get the courage to write it down.
While you were busy practicing oral
will never
history,
do that.
I was busy practicing the pencil mustache.
She has perfected it.
While you
Pencil mustache.
while you were busy practicing oral history,
Oh, no.
I studied the pencil mustache.
What? That legendary technique. It was lost to the ages long ago.
Yes. Oh,
So,
Yeah.
this is awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I am excited to see how it all weaves in.
Definitely. Definitely.
Who's to say it will?
Who's to say it won't?
Who's to say it won't? Maybe I'll turn into the creator of My Hero. When people ask him about, hey, remember how you said there was a traitor in the school?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, yeah, I
about
forgot about that. Was his response.
It's so dumb.
They're like, what's gonna happen with that storyline that you just started and never finished? Yeah, I forgot.
It's over. Nothing.
Yeah.
You
this
don't always
is-
get closure. You don't always get closure.
You don't always get, there's always loose ends.
Very, very, very true.
We leave loose ends to let the audience theorize.
Yes.
Give us your theories on what's going on and what will happen.
Please. I would love
Give
to
us
hear
fanfic.
theories. We want fan theories big time, because this is awesome.
This took a very different turn than I was expecting.
As
Like, it
I
kind of-
wanted.
Yeah. It connecting to the larger sense of the father's story and the
In a
big bad
significant
tentacle
way.
monster.
Oh, I always wanted it to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I totally thought this was going to be, I thought the main connection was going to be Zephin's connection to the big bad tentacle monster.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it would go any further than that. I didn't think it would, like, this whole mission would be tied into it and stuff like that. I just thought it was like a little side story with that little piece.
Yeah.
But this is
Yes.
much, much better.
But I had in a brief flash of inspiration the idea, what if the webs of corruption were further than we thought?
Oh, yeah.
This makes me feel good to have
Oh, yeah.
experienced.
It makes me glad we did this, too.
This is a good thing.
good.
Oh, yeah,
good
definitely.
podcast.
Because I know going into it in the beginning, I thought it was just going to be like this fun pirate romp on the side
Yeah,
that
yeah.
had nothing to do with
That's
anything,
what I
really.
that's what I wanted it to be,
Yeah.
and then somehow my brain said no.
Honestly, this is so
Like-
much better.
Yeah, I'm glad your brain said no because this is
Same.
awesome.
End of season 1.
So are we doing a second season of Iron Tyrant? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, we might.
I left it open.
True.
If we come back to it, if we don't, who's to say I don't pull in these characters in the main story at some point?
True.
For sure.
They could always be NPCs.
They're definitely part of the story now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big, significant part.
The only thing that will not ever happen, most likely, I will tell you now, is a crossover between Iron Tyrant and core Sins of the Father.
Oh, no.
Because I can't have 3 NPCs be played by 3 of the players that are also in the party.
We'll just play all the characters. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just sit back and say nothing, and you guys will talk for an hour, and I'll say, end of episode. And that's it. That's the whole episode.
It'll just be Gallus torturing Vartosh with his disgustingness. Honestly, seeing the interactions between all of our characters and these characters would be really strange. And I really don't feel like talking to myself.
I know. That's me. How do I react to myself?
Bibonese would be so comforting to Rickett, though.
Yeah, Rickett and Bibonese would be fine. They just read a storybook together or something.
Oh, yeah. They would be fine.
He would hum Rickett to sleep.
Evalia and
Yeah.
Zephin would be an interesting one.
I don't even know how that would go. Honestly.
Zephin, being edgy and brooding. Volley in the background. So edgy.
Just like playing like super like edgy song to like a emo like beat, and he's just like hair flip.
There you go.
Jackson, do you have any final words to close this chapter of Sins of the Father out?
I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, listeners. It was a nice side story. And keep rolling crits.
Ah, there it is.
There it is.